Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and in celebration of the Grand Tournament expansion, today we will be rebuilding our Shaman deck. Uh, so let's start with looking at what our Shaman deck is right now. I think it's a Murloc deck. Yes, it is. So, Grimscale Oracle, Murloc Raider, Murloc Tidecaller. I would have two Murloc Tidecallers if I had them, but I don't. Ancestral Spirit, something I was experimenting with, probably wouldn't keep it. Wind Fury, probably wouldn't keep it. Bluegill Warrior. The Flame Tongue Totem is a pretty decent totem card. There aren't enough totems that you could actually just do a full-on totem deck, and you couldn't really make them strong enough that that would work. Murloc Tide Hunter, Puddle Stomper, Whirling Zap-O-Matic. Probably wouldn't keep this. It's a little too low in health. It doesn't survive often enough to get use out of its Wind Fury attack. The Coldfish Oracle has each player draw 2 cards. Maybe you keep that, maybe you don't. In a Murloc deck, if you can get away from using it, I would. The Cold Light Seer is a good Murloc. The Murloc War Leader, absolutely necessary. If I had to, I would have put them in this deck. And Old Murkai, absolutely necessary. You gotta have Old Murkai. You get Old Murkai once you have all of the other Murloc cards. So if you have a collection and you know that you could craft a Murloc card, craft it and you will be rewarded with Old Murkai. And it's worth it. I think having a Murloc deck, if you can do it, is a great deck to be your floating deck that you would give to specific characters that don't have very good cards at the moment. It's really useful to level them up and fill in any gaps. Wind Speaker, give a friendly minion Wind Fury, wouldn't use that. Bloodlust, absolutely have Bloodlust in the Shaman deck. It works sometimes. The only time Murloc decks don't work is if they can hold you off to a mid to late game. If you can get your Murlocs out in early game, you will win. Because they're fast and they're furious. Not in the sense that the Murlocs steal cars, I wouldn't know about that. But they usually can get summoned pretty early on the first, second, or third turn. And when you get them working in conjunction, they become pretty powerful and can do a lot of damage. The Fire Elemental deal 3 damage, probably wouldn't use that. And then Neptulion has an overload of 3, but it gives you 4 random Murlocs, so for a Murloc deck it makes a lot of sense. Now let's see what we can do now with the new Grand Tournament cards. I guess I want to keep the Soulbound cards in there in case any of those are good. I doubt they are. Restore minion to full health, give it taunt, give your totems plus 2 health. I'm seeing a pattern here. Assign a minion, deal 1 damage to it. Deal 2 damage to 2 random enemies and an overload of 2. There is an overload deck you can build, but it's all centered around pretty much only one character that gets a +1 attack when you play overload. Which, if there was 3 or 4 characters that got beneficial things every time you played overload, there might be some kind of thought there. But when it's just the Unbound Elemental, I believe is what it's called, that's not enough. And there's way too many cards that are overload for that to really be the only thing. Deal 2 damage, unlock all of your overloaded crystals. If you are going to play a bunch of overload cards, you might want to have the Lava Shock in there. Definitely. Reincarnate, restore it to health. Reincarnate destroys it, then brings it back to life at full health. So it activates differently, I would suppose, instead of just healing something all the way. I assume it would activate the death rattle abilities of cards. Adjacent minions have +2. That's something you might do. A totem golem here. Uh, let's see, it's an overload of 1, but it's a pretty decent card otherwise. At the end of your turn, restore 4 health with this totem. This is only 100, so if I was going to use it, I would make it, but I'm want to save up my dust for things I was actually going to use. Power Mace here. Come on, visual glitches. It has a death rattle to give a random friendly mech +2/+2. Otherwise, it's a 3 attack, 2 durability weapon. So, if you want to give your shaman a weapon, that might be one of the few options. Elemental Destruction, deal 4 to 5 damage to all minions and overload 5. If this was 100, I would create it because that is a pretty good card for 3 mana. Draw a card, the card costs 3 less, nah. Summon 2, 2, 3 Spirit Wolves with Taunt, overload 2. Let's create one of these and play with it. Feral Spirit. Restore 7 health, reveal a minion in each deck. If it costs more, if yours costs more, restore 14. I'll definitely have both of those in my deck. I'll make a second one of that. Hex, transform it into a 0/1 with Taunt. Lava Burst, deal 5 damage. Deal 2 damage to all enemy minions. Overload. I'll take this with Lightning Storm. I'll make 2 of them even. At the end of your turn, draw a card. I don't really like draw cards. Summon any random totem. That'll definitely be in our deck because I want to see what options are. So here you have the Unbound Elemental, and as far as I know, this is still the only card that really benefits from overload cards. There needs to be more, and yet there haven't been any introduced that I've seen. So if you had 2 of these on the field and you played all those other cards for overload, you would give them +1/+1 and power them up, but it hardly ever works that way. Your hero power becomes deal 2 damage instead of summoning a totem. This would be a good card to play, but I'm not going to spend the 400 dust on it. Put a random minion from each player's hand into the battlefield. Nah, that's no use. Gain +1/+1 for every friendly totem. I'll make 2 of those. I think we are going to make a totem deck. No to him. No to this guy. Here is a Murloc that I don't have, but apparently I didn't need him because he was a Goblins vs. Gnomes. You just need all the classic Murlocs to get Old Murkai. To correct myself a little bit. Wind Fury here, and then Overload of 2 for the Doomhammer. Maybe. It does have 8 uses, so you could, with Wind Fury, you could use it in 4 turns. This guy would be good, the Earth Elemental, a Taunt, and he has an attack of 7 and a health of 8 for 5, but he does have the Overload of 3. Give all your totems +2. We will have 2 of those.
There is a lot at stake here.
Apparently there's a lot at stake here. Mist Caller, give all minions in your hand and deck +1. This legendary, I really do want this legendary, but I couldn't even afford it. I'm running out of dust before I even make it to the end. And then this guy, Alucard the Wind Lord, if I can get the visual glitches to even somewhat not mess up. He has Wind Fury, Charge, Divine Shield, and Taunt. So you summon this guy, he can attack twice on his first turn, And he has a divine shield, and he has taunt. He just has everything. So that is definitely an interesting card that I would love to have. So let's see if there are any totems in our neutral cards. Not a bit. No totems at all in the neutral cards. So are there really any neutral cards that would play well with this concept of totems? Uh, I'm not sure really if there are. Like the Voodoo Doctor, you'd think it would work with the Shaman in some way, but it really doesn't. It just heals. It works as well as any other neutral card, but it doesn't do a lot. Here we have the Doomsayer. If it wasn't so expensive, I would get this. It's a pretty good card to just destroy everybody on the field. This'll work somewhat well. You can use your hero power twice in a turn. Well, I would definitely want that neutral card. That's on my list of cards I want to make it pretty fast. Nope, nobody wants Lord Walker Cho, really. Millhouse, no. I don't think there'd be enough space to do all the totem cards and the Murloc cards. I don't think there'd be enough room. This big game hunter is not very good. Blood Knight, all minions lose Divine Shield, not for the Shaman. Whenever you target this minion with a spell, nope. Whenever you play a 1 minion, give it +2/+2. It's an interesting thought. That might work. 1 attack minions with totems would be pretty common. What else? What else would work pretty well? Your opponent's hero power costs 5 more. Nah. I don't think I'd ever play Saboteur on any deck. Transform a random minion into a 5/5 Devil Soar or a 1/1 Squirrel. That's a little too risky. Defender of Argus might work just in general to power it up. Maybe playing some trolls would work too, some trogs. I think they're called trogs, not trolls. Like whenever your opponent casts a spell, gain 2 attack, but you may run into a lot of people that don't play that many spells, so that's not a very good card. Your hero costs only 1. We could create 2 of those and put that in the deck, why not?
I am freed from the curse.
And so we need to find hero abilities, I think. Or maybe even inspire abilities. Let's try that. We've tried several inspire things. Give you a weapon +1/+1. Yeah, if only I had the power to summon like the Elite Tauren Chieftain, but I don't have the dust for it. This guy would be good if I could get him. Whenever your opponent plays a card, remove 3 top cards of your deck. This is a weird card, but in very rare situations it's useful. Harrison Jones, I wish. This guy, Himmet, Nessing Worry. Whenever a friendly mech dies, gain +2/+2. Inspire, gain +2/+2. Yeah. Leroy Jenkins would definitely want him. I have several legendaries here that I want, but I don't have. Give your other minions +1/+1. I'm gonna try Muckless Champion again. Let's see. Whenever your hero takes damage. Death rattle. I can barely even read these with all these visual glitches. Add a random paladin to your card, to your hand. No. Every cast a 1/1 spell. Add a random mech to your hand. No. No. And this one, definitely. This may be the first one I actually spent 1600 dust to make. But I'm certainly not gonna do that now. I don't have it. Reveal minion, give that. Nope. No to that one too. I'm moving kind of fast here. Copy your opponent's hero power. No, I don't think I'd want to do that. In any deck, it's too random. Reveal minion. Yep. Nope. Got a lot of legendaries here. I still need to get, and hopefully I will. Hopefully it will come about. So the Stormwind Champion is about the highest soulbound card I think you can get. You get it right when you start the game, and it's the most powerful card I think you would start with. And almost nobody plays it once you have better cards. It's fine. It's a fine card. It's just not a great card. So when you find yourself not playing Stormwind Champion anymore, you've gone up a level in your game. Summon a random legendary minion when you die. Not as good as the Inspire. Summon a random legendary minion. Spell damage +5. No. I might put the North Sea Kraken in there if I have nothing better to do. I wish I had this just to play with it every now and then. And let's see. Frost Giant. I wish I had it. This one costs 1 less for each minion on the battlefield. This one costs 1 less for each time you use your hero power. This one costs 1 less for each card in your opponent's hand. This one costs 1 less for each other card in your hand. And this one costs 1 less for each damage your hero has taken. And this is the highest mana count card in the game, 20 mana. So you can't even play it until you've taken at least 10 damage of your 30 health. Alright. So, let's say bye-bye to our Shaman deck and make a new one. Shaman, make it. And we're going to start with just totems. Give your totems 2 health. Take this. Take this. We'll make another one of those. Take these 2. Take these 2. And take these 2. And that's totems. And get rid of that. Let's see, what else are we interested in using? That took up 12 or 13 spots. It really does go to show that there's not enough totems to make a totem deck yet. Definitely want Bloodlust. And let's start looking at the Inspire cards. Now, because if I'm summoning totems using my hero ability, that means this guy will get inspired. Let's see. I don't want to create another one of those. So that leaves me with 4 more slots of cards to pick. Do I want to play... There was something I summoned. I know I created something that did 2 damage. I did this to play with. I did Lightning Storm to play with. And I did 2 of these. So let's take something out. To do 2 healing waves. And was there anything else I made? No, I think that's it. And so I think that's as good of a Shaman deck as we can make, so let's try it. Definitely a lot different than my Murloc deck. My Murloc deck worked pretty good. Murloc decks work pretty good in general. If you have enough Murlocs, they either will win you a game real fast or lose your game real fast, and slightly win you more than lose you. We are almost done in the sense that we have 2 more deck rebuilds after this. It's been rather a lot of recording for one day, but we're gonna get it all done in one day, and then that's pretty much all the coverage I'm gonna have for the grand tournament. You'll start seeing me play these new decks, or decks that are improved upon the concepts that I've used here, in possibly a month or 2 on my regular show. On my regular Hearthstone episodes that are numbered, that come out every day. It just will take that long to catch up. And then you'll see how well I consistently play with these cards. Alright. So we inspire this guy. Give your totems +2 health, give your totems +2 health. Oh, it's +2 health, I thought it was +2 attack.
We're using
I don't know if that's really worthwhile. I would definitely not play these until I have the taunt guy out.
Reporting for duty. Run away!
Let's see. Inspires gains 1 health, but I can't do that, so we'll just play this. So I'll play that right now, and now he shouldn't be able to beat this guy.
Reporting for duty.
Alright. How do we want this? We can't play this. We can play this. So, this, then this, and then this.
Job's done.
And I can't attack, but that should be fine. This should heal it a little bit. It'll be at 4. It'll take all these guys to kill this one.
For the king!
Deal 3 to 4 damage to all the enemies. Just do this. Right. That looks like that's set to work. Next turn I can play a 4.
Wanna blow something up?
No.
Wanna blow something up?
He got very unlucky there. Let's see. Let's go ahead and just play
Elements
this.
I like. Totems I love.
Alright. So, hit the face here. Hit the face here.
Job's done.
And then end the turn here. I think next turn we might be able to play Bloodlust and just win.
Yes.
Maybe. I could do this and give everything a +1/+1. I could do this and improve the attack of
What to do?
these. Let's see. Let's try this. So 5 kills this guy. And then we have 22
Totally.
here.
Job's done.
So that gets him down to 1. 1 to 30. Couldn't be more desperate, more different. And this was pretty easy. He's gonna lose no matter what he does. Oh, he can attack that one because that one didn't have any attack. Let's see. This. And then, let's see, this. If I had summoned this and then inspired them, it would have given them all +2. This will give everybody +1/+1, +2 attack only versus +1 attack, +1 health. Doesn't really matter though because I've won the game. So yeah, even though it's a little short on totems, you can definitely do a totem deck now. There's enough cards in the Hearthstone universe that you can do a totem deck, and that seemed a little easier than what my Murloc deck was. Maybe I got lucky on that game, maybe I don't. I'll have to play it more and experiment. Anywho, that's it for this episode. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps me with YouTube. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it and make a donation. And please do follow and friend me on basically every social media sites. I have a bunch of links down below. Let me know if there's something I should be on. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.